Hi there, it's Patmos and welcome to yet another episode with our Ostriv game. We get the time going, everyone starts to move, and we can continue where we left off. And as you can see in the building queue, we left off with building houses, of course a few wells to provide them with water. And we are trying to get to a slaughterhouse. Now of course last time we've built a few fisheries, fishing docks. It's almost winter, so the river will freeze over and you will see no boats sailing. So that's why I chose to not put in workers yet, or maybe one in each, so that they have the incentive to go and get boats. And there you see the second boat is done already, which is very good. But yeah, that's the thing, you don't get to catch many fish in the coming months, so I'm not gonna spend workers on that. And of course, well, this all looks very good. Farms are being done. I got a few questions about farming, one on YouTube and one via another channel. And that's the thing I'm going to talk about later in this episode. Because, well, there's a lot of thoughts about that, and I'm not going to say that I know the ideal situation or the most efficient situation. I just have a few thoughts on that I would like to share. And of course, we just need to expand our village and perhaps do some trading, etc. Now, stockpile-wise, we're doing very good. We have a lot of food. So yeah, no problems there. Of course, we would like more milk. We would like to get in fish, but with these numbers in, well, that looks really good. There's still a lot that's in there that needs to be taken to the granary, so we have even more. And that'll help us get through winter. Probably have food for 2 years now, so that's a good thing. Just keep in mind that this every time you grow, you get more houses, you get more families, you'll need more food. So even though you might have a big stockpile with 10 extra houses, you won't last that long with it. Especially not if you think right now, well, we can do like 2 years with that. If you get 10 extra houses, you might just do 1 year with all the food you have. So you always have to keep an eye on your food production and expand farms, etc. if you need that. Now we got 3 cart parkings, which, well, as you can see right now, they're not using them very much because, well, basically they brought all the stuff they need towards the building site. You will see once the house is done, they will start working on another house. All these people will grab a cart and get the supplies there. And every now and then you will see people using carts to deliver goods. For instance, from the farms to the granaries. So yeah, it's a good thing to have some carts. There you go, there he goes. Going with some stuff to the granary. They will also use the carts. You can set that, by the way. You can just tell them, well, hiring options, you can hire laborers sometimes. Supply, see, you can laborer by cart. So resources can be supplied via a laborer with carts, which is good. And you can see they have 3 laborers, they all have carts and they're getting all the stuff. Now we also like extra people in the granary. I always like it completely filled with people. Now last time we got a few bulls. As you can see, they still have to go quite a while, 8 months and 9 months before we can turn them into oxes. But once we can start to get some plows. And what's the benefit of a plow? Well, every time you plow a field, the nutrients will get filled a little bit. So when you plow the field, it takes a bit of time. They have to plow the whole field. After that, they can start sowing. So usually the growth time is a little smaller, so you get a little less yield from it. But because of the plowing, the nutrients will be better, so that will basically make the output increase a little bit. So that's a bit of a trade-off, but it's nice. And I would like to get plows, since we only use 2 fields a year and one will always be a fallow. We only need 2 plows, so keep that in mind. If you get 3 plows in your farm, always one that's doing nothing. So yeah, that could be a thing. Well, what I was talking about, you don't see many carts being left there now. Only like 4 or 5 of them, because, well, the house is done. They're all collecting the carts to get the resources to the new building site, and that's where all the carts come in. That makes sure, I believe if people have to carry stuff, they can either carry 10 or 50. And or 10, 20 or 50, I believe. It differs what it is. So I believe like 10 planks or 20 planks and 50 grain or something. And with a cart they can easily carry up to like 300 or 500, so that's a good thing. You want them to use the carts for more efficient production. Now, as you could see, a new family was coming in. Oh, this is a nice family, provides us with a lot of workers. Now the thing could be that once this house is done, people from the village will meet up with each other if they're single. And, well, I don't see another family yet with all the children, but they can get together and marry and just... Oh, here for instance we have Marichka, who's 18 years old. If she decides to marry Pavlo, who's 21 years old, they will start to live in that house, and you don't get a new family even though you have built a new house. Keep that in mind, that not every new house later in the game will provide you with a new family. Could just be two people from different houses relocating to that house because they start to form a family, which is great. Of course, they can reproduce and they can be a part of the workforce, so it's not a problem. Just don't assume that every house you build will get your village count up. That's not how it works. Well, this is looking good. Trees are being chopped down. We have a reforestation area, and I think about, because you don't see them do anything anyway, about adding another reforestation area, because once these trees are all gone and these have grown, we need another area to be completed. So that's why I'm going to do that. Do it like this. So this will be chopped down eventually, and these are not yet ready to be chopped, but once they are, they will chop down all these, and once these are all gone and these are gone, we have nothing left. So every few years plant a new batch. These can then start to grow in a few years and they will be ready to be picked up. So basically this works like seasonal. So these are ready to be chopped right now, these are ready to be chopped in 1 or 2 years, these are ready to be chopped in 5 years. And when they start working on these, I'll probably add another batch so that you always have trees available to be chopped down. Well, everything looks good. They built 2 houses. Well, this one isn't occupied yet by people from the village, so new people could be coming in, which is excellent. Let's hope they do. Don't have salo anymore, so we could try and switch that out for like potatoes or something. People don't have to walk that far to get potatoes. A new family is settling in town. Oh, that's a nice small family, that's nice. So that all looks good. We're heading towards December, so winter will start, which is interesting. Do we have jobs available? Yes, we do, so that's a good thing. So let's talk about farms now, because there's plenty of time now in winter. Building queues filled up, so that's a good thing. As you can see, I chose to build 3 very large units. The maximum size is 50, 50, 50, 50, and that provides you with quite a lot of units. Now there's different opinions about what you should do with a farm. You can have 3 big fields, you can have smaller fields. Oh, let's check this out. Anything I want? Yes, I want some extra iron. Get like 500 this time, because, well, we have to produce nails, etc., and that's what they do with the iron. And I'm not going to sell anything because winter's starting. We need all the food we can. So yeah, that's about it. Alright. So there's different thoughts about these farms. Of course, if you have a big field and they have to start sowing, you need quite a few laborers to quickly sow the field. And the longer it takes to sow the field, the less growth time there is and the less output you will have from the field. So the quicker everything is done, especially the sowing, the longer it can grow, the more it will produce. So there is something to say for a system where you have more smaller fields. There, for instance, is a system, someone brought it up on the comment section in YouTube, where you have like 25, 25, 25, 25 size, so a quarter of the size of these, and you get 6 of those fields, and that should be the optimum for production. I don't know if that's true, but that's a thought. And the way I look at it for now is when you start this, you just want high output of food that's easily manageable. This is easily manageable. You can just, you build 3 fields, you tell them what to do there. If you have a manager, you can plan ahead, and that's about it. And keep in mind that one of my big fields with 50-50-50-50 size is the same as 4 25-25 size fields. So basically I have 12 25-25-25-25 size fields. So if you have a system where you have 6 or 8 25 size fields, you will not get as much output as I'm getting. Because there's always 2 fallow then, because I use the system where you have 3 fields rotating crops. So growing a crop, and then fallow, and same here, same here. So there's always 1 fallow. If you have 6 fields, 2 of those will always be fallow, 4 of them will produce. And if you have 4 fields producing 2 fallow, that's only half of the number of fields I'm having. So I have way more fields producing, way more area producing, and I will get way more units. That's why I choose for the big fields. If you want to use small fields, because, well, maybe that's more efficient if you look at the areas you have available. You can manage the size and shape of the fields better, so you can just really fit it in everywhere, and you get those 25 fields, and you can manage in those fields. Try and get 12 fields, because that's the same size as I have here. If you don't use 12 fields, you use less number of fields, you will not get the output I'm getting with just these 3 fields. Now I'm, as I said already, I don't know the best way to set it up. I'm still experimenting with it. I every now and then start up a new game and try different things I've read about, I've learned, I've heard on YouTube, and I'll try what works. And some of it is just flavor-wise. I like it this way. It's easy. When I look at it, I just see in one glimpse what's happening. If you have like 12 small fields around this farm, 12 fields around this farm, it's harder to see where everything is. So it's just a personal thing. I like it this way. They produce a lot of food in, well, a short time, and it's manageable. And that's basically why I choose this. Of course, if you want a village to look more historic, you're not building it in this way. Of course, you try to use more round shapes around a main structure. And, well, I think in the early days, farming had a lot to do with small fields. You had a lot of small fields as a farmer, which all produce different crops. And if you want your village to look kind of historical, you can do it that way. That's fine. But I think efficiency-wise, having just 3 big fields can get you very far in this game. That's why I'm using this. Is this a different one? No, it's still the same one. Alright. So that's basically how I look at it. And I'll probably do another series on another map perhaps, where I will try a different system and show you how that works. But for now, and this game is basically about just showing you how you can get from the start of the game into like somewhere the mid or late game on an easy way. I've seen people, and I've myself have struggled a bit with how you set it up. How can you get started? How can you get all the people from the tents into the houses on time? Well, I hope I showed you that in this series. But there's a lot of different ways you can play this. There's not just one right way or a best way or whatever. That's the fun thing with this game. I play this way. Some other player might do it a whole different way. We get the same results, or he gets better results in one area, I get better results in another. That's all fine. Just try to see what works for you. But if you want to keep it simple, I think this is a simple setup to start with. You start with a few houses, you get things going, you make sure that you can start to grow your village. You just have like 2 farms, 6 fields that produce a lot of food, so you can get along with it. For instance, if you look at the river now, as you can see, these rivers are completely frozen. They're in ice. You don't see a ship anywhere. As you can see here, he can't complete an order in winter. Why can't he build a fishing boat in winter, you say? Because, well, it's easy. It's just there on the shore. You can just put it on the wood here and build the boat. Well, once it's done, he has to take it towards the fishing docks. He has to row there, but he can't because this is all frozen over. So that's why he can't produce the ships right now. And that's why I didn't put too many workers in there, because they'll be useless all winter. And that's also why I didn't choose to start with fishery as a food source, because, well, 3 months a year you don't get any food from it because the river is frozen. And even if you get food from it, you don't get as much as it from a farm. One field produces 2,410 units of food. They probably don't. They'll probably produce around 2,000 because we never get the growth time completely filled up. But 2,000 units of food on one field. You don't get 2,000 units of food in a season from a fishery. So this is a very efficient way to get started for flavor and to provide people with different types of food, because that's also a thing they want. It's very good to get fisheries. You get jobs from it, so people can start to work, which is very good. You don't want too many people to be unemployed. So there's a lot of reasons to get fisheries done, but not in the start of the game. Alright, what do they offer? Live chicken, hemp, wheat, honey. Oh well, that's all fine. Not going to use any of that. Alright, they're trying to build the slaughterhouse, which is great, because once that is done we can send cows we have to spare, or mostly bulls I guess, towards the slaughterhouse. We need some wood. We don't have enough wood. Oh well, they are producing it. They're also planting trees. Almost done planting the trees, so that's good. Then they can get back to the wood production. And they will. So that's all fine. That's not an issue. And I think, since you can have 20 cows in your pasture and in your cow shed. We are already at 15, so I think we need to build an extra cow shed. That'll mean extra milk, which is good. It'll also mean that once those cows come in, or more cows get born, we can just switch them to this cow shed and fill that one up, so we get more milk and maybe even more meat as they start to reproduce more and more. So that's a good thing. And we don't have to buy cows for this. We can just switch over a few there, get a bull in there that can ensure that we get new cows. And that's the way to move forward. Don't get like 6 cow sheds in one go and buy a lot of cows, because that's very expensive. You can see here, if you want to buy live chicken, a chicken is 12 a unit. A horse is already 60 a unit. I believe cows are like 40 a unit or something. That's very expensive, so don't get into that. Don't fill 6 pastures with cows you bought. You don't need them anyway. Not that many in the beginning of the game. Just make sure you have 1 cow shed with a bull and a lot of cows, and you'll get new cows every year, and you can just switch them over to a new cow shed once that's done. I think that's the best way to move forward. Now right now I'm not going to put any workers in the slaughterhouse because we won't be slaughtering any cows. That's also a way to look at it. And it's easy. Sometimes you run out of job available and you have houses available, you don't have jobs, and no new families will come in, because as you can see, you need to have jobs available. Well, right now we have plenty of space in the fishery, we have plenty of space in the slaughterhouse. So if any given point I think, oh well, I have 3 houses, I have no jobs available, so no new families will come in, I'll just make these available. People will want to get in. We have provide them with jobs and new families can come in. They settled recently, they settled a month ago. Well, this is the Brynja. I believe he's from one of the families that arrived later on. Yeah, he's from this one. So probably not a new family came in when these two got together. They just settled there from the village, which is interesting, and it's fine. See, we're still at 115, so not too many people came in. We just need to provide everyone with a house. I'm going to put it speed 3 because this is taking me too long. Where are we? Well, we almost have 5,000 wheat in store, and I believe wheat is translated 1 piece of wheat will be 1 flour. So basically we have 7,000 flour in stock if we produce all the wheat or change it into flour, so that's a good thing. Plenty of food there. And for instance, if we start to get chickens or something, then we also need wheat to feed those animals. I mean, we can feed the cows with hay, but you can't feed the chickens with hay. You need wheat for that, or buckwheat, or whatever. And that's a thing to keep in mind, that always get a good wheat supply, because quite a few of the animals want to eat wheat. Well, we're getting closer to the moment where we can start to create a plow. And once you, if you want to plow, you need a supply for oxen. Now, these people aren't doing anything at the moment because it's winter time. So I'm going to tell them to supply for oxen. And now they will start to get water and hay in. And they'll make sure that if we get oxen, they will stay alive on the farm. And right now in winter they have the time to do that. Once winter is over, we want them to start sowing the fields. You don't want them to start collecting all that stuff. And later on we will. Let's see, can we get that up to 500? Apply to all. Yeah, that's available. We have a messenger coming in from Merefa again. Well, that's fine. Now, I'm not going to get any chickens or anything, but we will in the future, so just need a few more things to be built. A new family is settling in town. That's a good thing. 3 more workers. That's great. We can really use them. Alright, we have 17 people looking for a job. 7 men. That's quite a few people looking for a job. So perhaps at some point we can just tell them, oh well, go work here. That's fine. Wait and see. 13 women looking for a job. There are jobs available. Probably need some sort of education for that. There's no, I believe, at least there's no education stuff, but it's in progress and it's nice that for some jobs you need some sort of an education, and apparently once this game gets developed more, they will put in an educational system where you can educate your people and they can do all those jobs. So that's really nice. Now you can see here a lot of people coming into the farms because they will all be laborers. They will start to sow the fields. And the quicker that's done, the longer the growth time will be and the more yield we get from it. So that's a good thing. They're really sewing it up. I believe they can be done. And they are. That field is completely done. This field is almost done. It's done. Perfect. Well, that'll ensure a long growth time and make us very happy, getting in a lot of food. Already a newborn. That's also very good. Village house is done. That's perfect. We can get a new family in with that. And of course we can start fishing now. So I'm going to tell them to hire workers. That's fine. I really want that. Now I'm going to change the granary because there's 2 males working there. I'll just tell them only to hire women. So those males can start to work in the fisheries. Because you can't hire women here to do the fishing. So we really want the men to go there. Alright, 6 fishing boats are done. Now you might think, oh well, get rid of these 2, they can start to work here. Don't do that, because also like the carts, these boats will wear out and you have to repair them every now and then, and that's what the boatyard does, so keep your people in the boatyard. Well, there they are, expecting in 27 pieces of fish. So as you can see, they will row somewhere, fish for a while, get back and put in fish. In this case, this one puts in 12, the other one will put in 15. Well, as you can see how long that takes, it takes many days to go, get a fish, get back, rest and come again. So you will never get like 2,000 fish from one fishery in a year. So that was I was talking about when you compare the farm and the fishery. What should you start with if you want a prosperous village and you're just getting started with it? I would always go with a farm. It's way better to start off with a farm. Alright, we have everything running smoothly. I think we need 2 extra market stalls where we can also sell the fish. And that will also make people don't have to walk that far to get some food. Which is also very interesting. So yeah, let's put it out here. Uneven terrain. Oh well. Where should we put it then? Well, I'm unsure, but perhaps we can just get it in. Well, we can get it in here, that's fine. So, let's put in a worker. Now, of course, I want women to work there. And in this case, they can sell milk, because that's a good thing to sell. Firewood, of course, fish, and some extra flour, because we have plenty of that. Same here. Fish, of course, so there's 2 places selling fish right now, which is good. Some extra flour, potatoes, oh, and buckwheat, I guess. So this will shave off the time people have to walk to get through the different food types, and they'll ensure that they will start to work as efficiently as they can. So fish is starting to come in, which is a good thing. They will start to sell it. Can we see how many fish we have? No, not really. Perhaps if we do it like this. Yeah, we have like 75 fish in right now, which is good. They'll be able to sell it. The cow shed is done, so now we have to get the people in. Of course, we don't. I'll go to this one, higher options, and set apply to all, because this is set as I want it to. And yeah, there it is, perfect. They should use a fallow field. They should first, that's the thing, I'll slow down a bit. Don't make the mistake of immediately transferring cows to the new cow shed, because they need food and water. And if you forget that, by the end of the month, cows will start to die. So make sure they get the food in first, and after that, you can start changing it up and get the cows in. Now this one's filling up already, 18 cows. So I'd say this bull should go there, because it can be the one that starts the reproducing work. And we just need like 5 or 6 cows to be switched. I hope at some point they will get to a system where you can select multiple cows and get them into the other pasture. Right now I don't see how that works or anything. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. If you know how to do that, fine, tell me. But if you don't, well, I hope they will put it in. Alright, we get like a few more cows in there to make it a little bit even, of course. Alright, 5 cows and a bull. Here we have 5 cows and a bull, and of course all the newborns, which is great. Plenty in there for oxen, so that's nice. So basically what we can do, we can already turn these two into acces and tell this farm to prepare for a plow. Now you will see not enough adult oxen to complete an order, you need 2, but as soon as these 2 get of age, which will be in 5 months, because then this one is done as well, then they will start to produce the plow and you will see it appear on the farm. So now I can't forget it, which is a good thing, because I don't want to forget that. Alright, everything's growing nicely. We're only in May and, well, we can see growth going good. That's amazing. New family settling in town. We're almost out of our building queue, which is also nice. And we've done a lot. There's still a lot of people coming in. And still a lot of open vacancies. So apparently we need to work on that. A lot of open jobs. No animals for slaughter. No, that's true. But I want to make sure that we provide enough jobs. So that's a good thing. I'm really curious to see where... I guess we need to find some educated men or something that can do the fishing. Because apparently a lot of the men can't do the fishing work. Are these all educated? I don't think so. Yeah, they have education 1. Alright. No, he has no education and he's still doing that work, so... There should be enough men looking for a job. Perhaps, but I'm not sure, distance is into account and it's just too far for people to go there and start working there. I don't know if that's a thing, but could be. So we could just demolish this one and build a few houses here. Maybe that helps. I'm not sure. If you know, please let me know. For now, I think, well, we've done quite well. We got the fishing going. We almost completed the whole block of houses. We've talked about the farming and how I look at it, and I hope that helps you. So yeah, sometimes it's not like the village will explode in the base of half an hour that I'm playing, but I hope you got a good glimpse of what I'm doing, and of course I hope to see you in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.